Today's Gemara in Succah Daf Yomi. All the learning for this month, the month of Av, has been generously sponsored by Eastern Union, the Zecher Nishmas Chesel Shagah ben Avram Yehuda, as well as Rechel Bas Shamshin Aaron Tzvi. The learning of the entire Chabura should be a tremendous chosil nishmasam. Of course, those who need a shidduch Yisrael Chaim and Devayer Shir Miriam Bas Rivka Gittel Etalea Bas Ita, they should find their shidduch Bekarev Mamish, as well as our Chayim Man of Avega Chaim Yisrael Shalom Masiv and Reizil Zar Bas Kananda de Basim As Chaysa Yisrael Mandil Leir Pedro Shalei Shalom Bas Nami Bas Avigo Shir Chanish Mol Mantil Din Mechan Reizil Chayim Bas Nili Baruch Sav Musa Din Ena Bas Nin Mendel Svim Figure Dever Mechles Sunas Lehuva Rivka Bas Hashem Tel Sivim Mechlester Besoich Sha'ar Chayli Yisrael. And just a reminder once more for those who are appreciating and enjoying the WhatsApp option, find the number on your screen, send a WhatsApp, and you'll be receiving the audio and the link with the video from YouTube straight to your phone. Let's pick it up. We are really on Yudalad and Aleph. We were in a running start, so we sort of went all the way into Yudalad and Aleph. But let's give ourselves a dot of background by looking back on Yud Gimel and Beis, highlighting as you see in front of you the Brisa and the middle of it the answer that we're trying to deal with. We quoted a Brisa. The Brisa spoke about Sukkah Te'inim Ben Te'inim Parkilim Ben Nanavim Kashin Shibayim Machlidis Tamarim. All of these cases we had a Machlekes Tanakama and the Achirim. What is the status of these different fruits with their different refuses with them? The Tanakama says it's a din psoilis merubal eichlin or not. It's going to be kosher apostle. Achirim said no. We deal with the yadais. We quoted this brisa because we thought that this is going to shed a light on a machlekes tanayim. What is the status of yadais? Do we have a din of yadais or not? And the Gemara said, no, that is not the machlekes. Rather, we're in the middle of trying to figure out that the Gemara said the case is talking about, as you see 4 lines from the bottom, a new case, that you cut down these items to eat them. You cut down your tamarim, your anavim, you were doing it for your dinner, for your snack. And then he said, I got all these vines with all these interesting things. Let's throw it on top of the sukkah. And that's going to be the case, the machlekes Tanakama and the Achirim. The Gemara said, Givaldik, beautiful explanation of the Achirim. And that's the reason why the Yadais will be included. But ask the Gemara 1 second, what's the Tanakama going to say? Because according to Tanakama, why will it not have a din? Because like the Gemara quotes, as you see 3 lines at the bottom, that according to Tanakama, thought itself should not undo. That when I have something that I want it to be Makabal Tama. So with a thought process, and this is what the Gemara continues to explain on the top of today's Daf Yomi and Aleph, a thought process could remove from a thought process, and it could create, a thought process can make something Makabal Tama, but it cannot remove it from its susceptibility to be Makabal Tama. So when I decided I want this to be food, it's Makabal Tama. If I then go and say, I don't want it to be food, now you have to do a maisa. Now a maisa miyad machshava, and we'll pick it up from there. 5 lines from the top. Yudalid and Aleph, when the Gemara tries to resurrect this answer by explaining the chitema nimili kalim. Maybe all those rules, the rules that a thought makes something makabel tama, and once you made a makabel tama, the only way to undo it is with a maisa, with an action. Perhaps that's only by kilim, by utensils, which is chashiv. Avol yadais till it's sayrich achilin. And what's our discussion? The yadais, these stems, these other parts of the fruit, which is all there as an auxiliary, as a secondary nature to the food. Therefore, maybe b'machshava naseh or b'machshava salka. Maybe we'll see a chiddush that maybe even with thought it could undo your original thought process. Says the Gemara, nothing doing. V'atanan, but we learned in a Mishnah, says the Gemara, 7 lines at the top, called Yadais ha'eichlin, shebisasan begayran ta'irais. If you're bisasan, if you smash them, then it's going to be tar. And Rav Yesi is mitame. So says the Gemara, what does that word bisasan? I said smash. The Gemara is now going to develop what exactly this word means. Bisasan is heter agudan shapir. If besasa just means that you undo the binding, you undo the different bundles of these different fruits and grains and whatnot, then it makes a lot of sense. Because that's not a proper action to the item itself. And then I can understand that, which we just said, that a machshava, a thought, can undo a machshava. Elaman da'amar, but according to the opinion that says, my bisasan mamish. According to the opinion, what is bisasan means crush it. Michael Meimar. So what do we see? We see very clearly that you cannot have a mere thought to undo a thought. You need to actually have an action. Hachanami answers the Gemara, Shabisasan mamish. That brisa that we started off quoting today, the bottom of Amud Beis, that brisa was discussing that you actually crushed them. Says the Gemara, what's going on? If you actually crushed it, now you understand the Chacham, I understand the Tanakama. Because you crushed it, you did a mice, and you undid the fact that it's food. But now what does the Achirim hold? The Achirim says the Gemara, the Amar Rav Yosi, the whole like Rav Yosi, the Tananas we learned in the Mishnah. Rav Yosi mitame. Rav Yosi says it's still going to be makabel tuma even after you crush the straw, even after you crush the grapes. The crushing is not enough, says Rav Yosi. Says the Gemara, 1 second. Hi, Mai, what's going on over here? Bishlama Hasam, in the Mishnah of Rav Yosi, Taima de Rav Yosi Chazia, Lich Rav Shimon ben Lakish. The Rav Yosi holds like whom? Like Rav Shimon ben Lakish. Dom Rav Shimon ben Lakish, 4 lines into the white lines. The reason why crushing it is not enough is because now we're talking about grain. We're talking about stalks. And the fact that as the kernel there is an advantage, there's a good part of that you still can flip it over with a pitchfork and atar. But in our case, what does it help having the yadis? What does it help having the stems there? As by the sukkah, answers the Gemara. Says Mar, it does help that when you take down the sukkah, you can pull off the straw. You could hold the grain and pull off the straw. Just envision when you're pulling down your sukkah, you take down your sukkah, sometimes you got like these schachs all the way in the middle, and how do you grab onto them? So if it was straw and grain, it would be quite difficult. So you'd be an advantage having the grain there to help you pull off the straw. And that is the reason why Rav Yosi would continue holding Rav Shimon ben Lakish, that crushing it would not be enough to undo from its original machshava that it is food. Gufa says the Gemara, let's go a little bit back into this discussion of yadais before we get back into Sukkah in our Mishnah. Gufa, kol yadas ha'eichlin shebesasan begayrin tahirais, Rav Yosi mitami. My besasan, this should hopefully sound familiar. It's a nice quick chazar of everything we just said. Rav Yochanan Amer besasan mamish krashav lazar Amer, heter agdan undo the binding. Bishal Rav Lazar Damer besasan heter agdan. Hainu de metame makes a lot of sense. Hainu de metame Rav Yosi. El Rav Yochanan b'sasa mamish amei metame Rav Yosi. What does he say? It's tamei. It's cross. You did a maisa. Answers the Gemara of Shimon Lakish. You know why? Because you can flick it over with a pitchfork, like we just said. Now we conclude with a nice, cute. I don't want to call it cute. Excuse me. A nice piece of a gadata says the Gemara of Rav Elazar. Why are the tefillos of tzaddikim like a pitchfork? Loy Melacha teaches us a beautiful lesson. A pitchfork flips over the grain. In the threshing place, mimakam the makam, and it moves it from area to area of tefillas and shal tzaddik. What a beautiful statement to hear right after we finish Tisha B'Av, as we're almost by hello. That the tefillos, what's the tefillah of a tzaddik? How do we believe brachos? How do we believe and know that the tefillos work? It flips over and it could change the das, the knowledge, the mind, the conditions and the decisions of God Himself, of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. The tefillah of the tzaddikim could change. Says the Mishnah, a new Mishnah, and don't worry, I know we're a little bit low on pictures yesterday. We have lots of pictures right now to make up for it. Says the Mishnah, Misachin bin Nisarin. You're allowed to use planks boards as your schach. If you're Rav Yehuda, Rav Meir, Oyser. Machlekes, could you use planks or not? Everyone's wondering, how big are the planks? Stay tuned, 1 moment for the Gemara. If you put on a plank, that is 4 tfachim wide, what is the halacha? Ksheira. You can't sleep underneath it. So we have a machlekes in the Mishnah between Rav Yehuda and Rav Meir. Are you allowed to use planks as chach? Before let's just hold the picture over here. Here, your beautiful sukkah with planks on the roof. That's going to be the machlekes. Rav Yehuda is going to say it's going to be kosher. Amir is going to say it's going to be aser. Says the end of the Mishnah. But if you put a plank of 4 tfachim, the sukkah is kosher, as you see so beautifully. But you cannot sleep directly underneath that plank. Let's see the Gemara to understand exactly the parameters, the case of the Mishnah. Amar Rav explains Rav. We're now going to have a machlekes, 2 different ways of explaining Rav and Shmuel, of course. What the Mishnah? What is the machlekes in the Mishnah? Again, Rav Yehuda in the Mishnah says you can use it as chach. Rav Meir says no. What is the case? That is a machlekes Rav and Shmuel. First of all, says Rav Omer Rav machlekes bin Isarim sheish ve'emar ba. The machlekes is 4 tefach wide planks. The Rav Meir is like gzeras tikra. Rav Meir says you're not allowed to use it as chach. You know why? Because gzeras tikra, we're afraid you might sit under your roof. Your tikra, your ceiling. Says Rav Meir 4 tefachim is too big. Nothing doing. Rav Yehuda less like Zir Tigri doesn't know that. Didn't Rabbanan? And it's kosher. Avol bin Isarim Shemin Arba. Let's see, they're narrow. Less than 4 tefachim. Divrei Akol says Rav. Kshira. Opinion of Rav, less than 4 kosher, more than 4 Rameir says puzzle, afraid it's like you're going to end up sitting on your roof. Rav Yehuda says kosher. Opinion of Rav. Ushmol Amar b'shein and arba machlekes. The machlekes is the exact opposite. Machlekes is when it's less than 4. Avli yishban arba. Devri akol psula. If it's actually 4, it's going to be puzzle. It says the Gemara. Ein behen arba. If it doesn't have 4, you just said it's a machlekes whether it's kosher. Rameir says no. Rav Yehuda says yes. What does it mean, ein ben harba? It's not 4. How big is it? Maybe it's a teeny little rod like this. Says the Gemara, even less than 3 tvachim, the regular planks of schach, the regular bamboo rods, the regular piece of wood, the regular pencils. Says the Gemara, they're kanim ba'alma. So why would Rameir hold that's possible? Papa, you got it all wrong. You know what Shmuel meant? Psula. Pachos mishleisha. They're called shira. Bigger than 4, puzzle. Less than 3, kasha. What's the machlekes? The in-betweeners, my taima. They're called shira. Less than 3, why? My taima, excuse me. Less than 3, everyone agrees the regular schach, the regular piece of wood, and that's kosher. What's the machlekes? Keep looking mishleisha arba. Between 3 and 4. Mar savar, even less now, shir makoim. Like guys, we none. Rav Yehuda says, once you're not 4, you don't have the sheer, you don't have the size of a place. 4 tefachim is the minimum size of an area. We learned all of Eruvin and Shabbos about that. And therefore says Rav Yehuda, we don't make Gzeira. Mar savar amiro, it's keeping the naftim. There's lavud. It's not lavud. Guys, we none. So that's going to be the machlekes when you have a sukkah between 3 and 4. What is the din going to be? Let's show some pictures, and with that, we will explain the machlekes one more time. Says the Gemara that if it's pachas meishleisha, everyone should agree it's kosher, it's regular planks of wood. On that, the Gemara answered that the machlekes is meishleisha ve'ad arba. Less than 3, everyone agrees they're kana ba'alma and it's kosher. More than 4, everyone agrees gezeira, it's going to be basal. Machlekes is between 3 and 4. Says the Gemara, Tanan, we learned in a Mishnah, a raya to the shita of Shmuel, the raya that the machlokes is between 3 and 4, less than 3 is kosher, more than 4 is possible. Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, Nasan ala neser shurachav arba tvachim kshira. The end of our Mishnah, 5 lines from the bottom, the Gemara says that the Mishnah taught us that if you put on a beam that's 4 tvachim, it's kosher. Ubilvad shlisha tachtav. So Bishlam, let's analyze this. According to Shmuel, he said when it's less than 4, there's a machlekes Rameir Pastor of Yudah kosher. Between 3 and 4, Avol Yesh Ben Arba, once it's 4, Devir called Psula. I understand why the Mishnah said don't sleep under, because everyone holds it's basal. El Rav and Arba machlekes Rav Yudah holds 4 tvachim is kosher. Amval Ein Ben Arba Devir called Ksheira. But if it's less than 4, everyone agrees it's kosher. Rav Yehuda, in the Mishnah, when I have this 4 tavach plague, Rav Yehuda says Givaldik. It's a beautifully kosher sukkah. So why does the Mishnah say you can't sleep under that area? Answers the Gemara, the classic Teretz Misavris Divrei Akoli. Do you think that the Mishnah is going with all opinions? Seva Asyan the Rameir. The end of the Mishnah is going with Rameir that says it's a problem, and that's how Rav is going to explain the Mishnah. So according to Shmuel, he can learn the Seva is fitting with everyone. According to Rav, he's learning that the Seva of the Mishnah is only the opinion of Rameir, but indeed Rav Yehuda would hold it's kosher. Says the Gemara, Ta Chiema. Let's try to bring. Says the Gemara Tashema one more time. We're at the bottom of Yudal Amar Aleph. Another raya. Shnei sadinim mitzdarfim. We have 2 sadinim, 2 sheets. Says the Gemara, they are mitzdarif. Let's explain. Moving over to Yudal Amar Beis. But shnei nisarin, but 2 planks are ein mitzdarfin. So the Brisa says planks are not mitzdarif, do not combine. Sheets, blankets, yes, combined. And of course, the price did not tell us the sizes of these items, which is going to be the point of discussion right now. Planks are like sheets, meaning they are mitzdarif. Now we have to explain exactly what's going on. According to Shmuel, that again, more than 4, pasul. Less than 3, kosher. Between 3 and 4, machlokes. Rameir, pasul. Rav Yehuda, kosher. That between 3 and 4 is the machlokes. Once it's 4, it's pasul. Now this price is beautiful. My mitzdarfin, what does it mean it's mitzdarfin? mitzarif? Machlekes, sheets, blankets. What is it mitzarif? What do you mean mitzarif? What's it combining for? So says the Gemara, according to Shmuel, it's beautiful. Mitzarif in l'arba, it combines to be 4 tfachim, which Shmuel holds, everyone will hold its puzzle. Rav says the machlekes is once it's 4 tfachim, Rav Yehuda says it's kasher, Meir says it's puzzle. When it's less than 4 tefillah, Hechidami. What's the case of this brayse? If it's 4 tefachim, why are you combining? Rav holds once it's 4, it's a machlekes. Rameir says possible. Rav Yehuda says kosher. If it's less than 4, amai. So what does it mean? It's mitzarif. That was the whole svara of Rav. That if it's less than 4, automatically everyone holds it's kosher because it's just planks of wood, it's just bamboo reeds, and everything is good. So says the Gemara, this brayse seemingly concurs with the opinion of Shmuel and is a kasha on Rav. Answers the Gemara la'olam the isbu arba. The case is that it is 4 tfachim, which Rav said it's a machlekes, Rav Yehuda and Shmuel. Excuse me, Rav Yehuda and Rameir. Rameir says possible, Rav Yehuda says kosher. Umay mitztarfin l'arba amas min atzad. Curveball. Mitztarfin has nothing to do with what we were talking about till now. A totally different din. A din of mitztarfin l'arba amos, 4 amos from the side. What's the din of mitztarfin l'arba amos min aside? That's the din of daifin akuma, which we've seen already. That there's different areas in the sukkah, and this will get clearer and clearer as we see more and more gemaras. Yesterday we mentioned that if I have avir, if I have airspace, it's possible with 3 tfachim. Today we're learning, and yesterday we also mentioned if we have pasal schach, it's possible with 4 tfachim. What if I have pasal schach at the side of my sukkah? Then it's only possible with 4 amos. Let's see with the pictures why. So I have 2 sheets, they are mitzarfin, says the Gemara. But if I have 2 planks of wood, then it's machlekes if it's like a sheet or not. Says the Gemara, La'ilam disbu arba. What does it mean mitzarfin? La arba amos min atzad. Those planks are 4 tfachim, as you see so beautifully. But the shaila is, do they combine to be 4 amos on this side? The difference would be daif and akuma. Do we have the bent wall? The bent wall, if I have 6 tfachim on the side of my sukkah, it does not passel my sukkah. It's true. You won't be able to sit under that 6 tefach plank, but it won't passel the sukkah. You know why? Because it'll be like a daif and akuma, it'll be like a bent wall. As you see like over here, but once it's 4 amos, then it's going to be an issue. Moving back into the Gemara, Lishna Achrina, another lashon in this last Mishnah that we quoted as a rayat to Shmuel and Akasha on Rav, which the Gemara defended. Lishna Achrina, let's rework it a bit different. Lishna Achrina bishlam l'Shmuel damer b'shein ben arba machlokes. According to Shmuel, it says machlokes between 3 and 4. Avli yishmar different called psula. Ma'im istarvin the sarvin arba amos minat sad. So in this lashon, we're directly addressing daif and akuma. That even according to Shmuel, it makes a lot of sense that it's mitzarif to be 4 amos for the din of daif and akuma on the side of the sukkah. Rav Meir. Rav Meir holds it's possible. What does it mean it's possible? It combines. What does it mean it combines? 4 amos min atzad. Rav Yehuda dam Rav Ish ben Arbok Sheira. Rav Yehuda holds every 4 tefach plank is beautiful, is kosher. There's no problem with it. Mayin mitzarfin kanim ba'almaninu. What does it mean it's not mitzarfin? They're just kanim ba'alma. Of course they're not mitzarfin. Says the Gemara, you're right. It's not a chiddush according to Rav Yehuda. I did to come Rav Meir mitzarfin. Rav Yehuda ein mitzarfin. Says the Gemara, the word mitzarfin is the wrong word according to Rav Yehuda. Because according to Rav Yehuda, 4 tfachim, 4 tfachim, 4 tfachim, of course they're not mitzarfin. Each one is perfectly fine and it will never get to arba amos min atzad because there's no problem with it. He only used the word ein mitzarfin because Rav Meir himself use the word mitzarfin. Says the Gemara, Tanya kavosei de Rav, Tanya kavosei de Shmuel. Let's bring a raya to Rav and let's bring a raya to Shmuel. So first we try to bring 2 different rayas to Shmuel, Kashas and Rav, and each one we deflect in. Now says the Gemara, let's try to bring 2 independent rayas, one to Rav and one to Shmuel. Tanya kavosei de Rav, let's start with Rav. Succah ben Isarim shel erez shein behen arba divrei akol kshira. Says this Mishnah, if I use erez, I use cedar wood, which is not a 4 tfachim, everyone holds this kosher. Yesh ben arba, if it has 4 tfachim, Rameir paisel Rav Yehuda machshir. Gevaldik, that sounds exactly like our Mishnah. The Rameir says it's possible, Rav Yehuda says it's kosher. Where is the machlekes yesh ben arba when they're 4 tfachim? This is exactly concurring with the opinion of Rav. Amar Rav Yehuda says Rav Yehuda ma'isa b'shas sakana shaviyun isarim. Now this Mishnah continues. Rav Yehuda says there was a story that there was a time of sakana they brought planks of wood. Shai ben arba, that were 4 tfachim. V'sichu agabi marbeset, and they put it on top of their porch. V'yashamnu tachtayinu, and they sat underneath it. So says the Gemara, that's Rav Yehuda. Bring a raya to his opinion that it's kosher having 4 tfachim, and this greater Mishnah is a raya to Rav, as we see that the machlokes Rav Meir and Rav Yehuda is specifically when the 4 tfachim planks. Amrulai, but the Chacham respond to Rav Yehuda, Bisham raya. Ein shas hasakana raya. You can't bring a raya from shas hasakana. The fact that they use those planks of wood for schach over there is not a raya. It was sakanas nefashis. Maybe that's the reason. So that's the first Mishnah, raya to Rav. Tani Kavase de Shmuel, Succah ben Esarin shall eres sheish ben arba divrei psula. He has a different Mishnah. Now the Mishnah says, "I use planks of cedar wood, which are 4 tfachim divrei psula." Beautifully, like Shmuel said, more than 4 pasul, less than 3 kosher. Between 3 and 4 is the machlok. Yes, ein ben arba, it's less than 4. Rameir paisel Rav Yehuda machshir. O moed Rameir shem yesh ben neser kamali neser sheminiach paisel ben emuk sheira. Rameir's moed in a specific unique case, a case which we're really not going to do justice on right now, because it's going to be a concept that's going to come more back on in a few daf, and it'll be much clearer over there. But Rameir agrees that even though Rameir holds less than 4, it's pasul. But Rameir says, but if you then go and put kosher schach in between the planks of wood, it's going to be kosher. It sounds very simple. It's not so simple as when we'll see in the picture. It has to do with something, the fact that when you get to the middle, you have to have 2 parts of kosher schach next door to each other. But let's leave that for now. Umayde Rav Yehuda admits she'im nasal la'neser shurachav arba tfachim Ksheira, ve'ein yeshenin tachtav. It says Rav Yehuda that if you put a board that's 4 tefachim wide, it's kosher, but don't sleep under it. Another end of the Mishnah, that's Rav Yehuda case where he admits. Let's just see some pictures and we'll conclude with the last 2 brises. Says the Gemara, this is the case of Rameir again. We'll just see this, we'll explain it a little bit until they come back in a few more days. That says the Gemara, Rameir holds that 4 tefachim planks are pasul. But if you divide the 4 tefachim planks by kosher schach, as you see so beautifully in this picture, then Rameir says it's kosher. But as you see in this picture, it only is going to work if in the middle you have 2 kosher schachs back to back. Because then you have 2 schach and schach, 4 tefachim each, 8 tefachim in total, the size of minimum sukkah. And then what's going to happen is that your middle sukkah is going to be kosher, the sides will be pasul. Again, we'll come back to this in Mirza HaHashem. This is the next Gemara. Let's just see the picture over here. Havchan al Tzideim, says the Gemara that we're about to read. What is the halacha if you flip over the planks? We just said we have a massive machlekes when it's 4 tefachim. A machlekes Rav and Shmuel. How to learn the machlekes Rav Yehuda and Rameir in the Mishnah? Rav said above 4, everyone agrees it's pasul. Shmuel said above 4, Rameir says it's pasul, Rav Yehuda says it's kosher. What if I take that plank and I flip it up and now it's standing that way? What is the halacha? Says the Gemara, Itmar Havchan al Sideim Rav Huna Amar Psula, Rav Chizda Rav Huna Amar Ksheira. We don't know yet why. Ikla Rav Nachman Surah Ol Gabi Rav Chizda came to Rav Nachman Rav Avuna Amri Le Havchan Al Sidei Ma'u. What's the halacha in the case that we just quoted? If you flip it on their sides, Amrlu Psula. Why? Nasek Shvudim Shal Mateches. Because we make, when you have a plank of wood, which is pasul schach, it's like pasul schach, it's like it's metal, and even if I go flip it now, and now it's not 4 tefachim, it's still going to be pasul because it has the status of pasul schach. Amr Lu Ravuna, says Ravuna Lo Amr Luchu. Like Amru Lechu, Amri Kavasei, they said, like me, Amru Le, mi Amr Lon, Mar, time of Lukabil Mine, Amr Lehu, mi Baita Mine, time of Lo Amr Lechu. Did you ask me for the reason? A little bit of a jar going back and forth over here, exchanging words. Did you tell us the reason? Did you ask me for the reason? And that is the end of that segment of the Gemara with flipping it on the side. But the take-home point is that we're going to have the status of pasul schach, and therefore it's going to be pasul. Leima Messiah Le. Let's finish with this. As the Gemara, I'll bring you a right to Rav Huna. If I have a sukkah that's not big enough, or there's a massive hole in the side of my sukkah that a goat could walk in. That's the point that we need. You put it in a piece of wood which is 4 tefachim. Psula. Even though it's 3 tefachim on top of your sukkah, it's pasul. Why is it pasul? It's only 3 tefachim. 3 tefachim should still be kosher. Says the Gemara, Hechidami, what's the case? My life, you know why it's pasul? Alright, it's a Rav Huna. Because you flipped it on the side, and it's pasul because it's the status of pasul schach. Therefore, even though it's flipped on the side and now it's not 4 tefachim, it's still pasul. Answers the Gemara, Lo yachmei go da'ancha pume d'matzalasa. You put on the edge of the sukkah, the ayel tlasa legav abechad lebar, 3 tefachim on top and 1 tefach on the outside, and therefore davlei pesal yotzim min hasukkah, v'chol pesal yotzim min hasukkah nidan ke sukkah. Says the Gemara. Let's see, this picture a little bit easier. That's a machlokes rishonim, but over here we're saying is that if I take the 4 tefach and you see over here it's 3 tefachim on top and 1 tefach over, that is the case of Rav Huna. It's not a case where you flipped it over, and we'll pick up